7+ I've been going through for two reasons. The first thing that got me onto there was I just got hooked by the ads from SAS Australia. After Survivor finished, I kind of needed to get onto something outdoor and insane. So SAS Australia started. So I've been watching that episode by episode, which has been pretty cool. But it's very intense, and it gives you kind of flashbacks to any type of army training you've ever done. Obviously, it's not the same like SAS version, but just that whole procedure of being yelled at and broken down and told you're doing everything wrong and just to get on with it anyway it's fun to watch from that perspective, as well as watching the celebrities deal with it.
Yeah. Do you sort of have any memories of the army training that sort of, this is like, it's flashbacks?
It was like basic training with Kapuka. So you go there for like a full month, and it's 6 a.m. in the morning through till 10 p.m. at night, and they give you just 8 hours, and you go again every day. And it's like first thing in the morning they're shouting at you until last thing at night they're shouting at you, and it brings back memories of people like being this far from your face and like spit flying in you, but you just kind of it's a really good challenge and a really good test, and it's good TV because it shows people's true character. I think like it's a lot of the people that talk a big game or try and have them sort of puffed out chest and pretend they're something they're not. These people are there to find out if you are actually that, and they obviously, with the challenges and stuff that they do, like so far they've had them in and did a car going into water, and like they had to get out and hold their breath under the water and get out of the sinking car. They've done challenges with heights, and that always gets people with heights because it's just you're naturally afraid of it. They've done challenges where they had to drag themselves through it would have been a good 50-meter tube, like a tunnel, and then the tunnel gets tighter as they go along to a point where like Sam Burgess is in there, and he's like massive, and
he's halfway through the tube and just stuck.
Yeah, he's sitting there and he's like, I can't fit. Like, he didn't seem scared as much as he just couldn't actually physically fit. And they're like, no, you can fit. You just got to crawl yourself along. It took him like 40 minutes to get through it. But it really shows people's true character. So it's got some good character mixes in there as well, I think. So it gives Sam Burgess, I think I heard, was one of the biggest, highest paid celebrities that they put on there. I think for the celebrities, they've tried to pick people that have a bit of background drama to make some stories. And obviously, he had a bit of drama after he left rugby league with separating with his wife and drugs and all sorts of stuff. So obviously, it makes for more interesting TV. So I think I heard they paid him $150,000 for one season. So, and I think people are all kind of just under that. So I think originally it was him and Pete Evans were supposed to have the two matching highest contracts, but obviously Pete Evans, after the whole COVID debacle,
they were like, let's not promote this guy.
Yeah, no, he's not on there. But I would have liked to watch him suffer a little bit doing that, but he's not on there. They got other people.
I saw a headline today. Apparently, Michael Clark, the former cricket captain, he was asked to be on the show, and his fee was higher than Burgess's, so they turned him down. Like they turned him down because he wanted too much money. I'm not sure exactly what it was. I didn't read the full article, but it was like, holy cow! Like
they've got some of the stories really.
It must have been ridiculous.
Some of the people are kind of just there, like Manu, the chef, is there just to have people. There's a good mix of different sort of characters. There's people who used to be on like Australian Idol or whatever. They've got Mark Philippoussis, Alicia Molik is there. The oldest competitor, I think, or the oldest person there is Kerry Potas, the beach volleyballer from the 2000 Olympics. So she's like 55 and doing it, which is massive. Like, these challenges are physically demanding. Kobe Abberton, the bra boy, is on there. So that's what originally got me into it, because I follow him on Instagram. But then watching him on there was interesting. He got caught out cheating, not doing all the push-ups he was required to do, and they just blast people. Like,
so it was him that was the cheater on the ad that I saw.
It was him, yeah. And he reckons he miscounted. He did 16 push-ups instead of 30. He reckons he just lost count.
Because you were only off by like 1 or 2.
That's what they said. I don't know.
Yeah, like if you were under by a couple, I don't think they'd have cared. But that's half.
Yeah, so it's interesting. It'd be interesting to see. So they can leave at any time on this show. Like, it's not like every week someone gets voted out situation. It's everyone gets a number, and they got like an armband for their number. And if you want to leave, you just hand it in, and then they just let you go. So some of the people have already left, just couldn't handle it. Bryn Edelston, I think, was the first one to go. So it used to be married to that Jeffrey
that doesn't
Edelson.
surprise me.
Yeah, no, it didn't really, but yeah, it's interesting to see them go through their own battles. Some of them they're about to leave and they push through and they're proud of themselves on the other side. And I think the directing staff like Ant Middleton and the guys that are all ex-British Special Forces that are the people that run it, they do a really good job of walking the line between psychopath, like crazy, like get your head in the game sort of situation, to being not friendly but like counselors almost. Like they kind of let people have a chance to be brutally honest. And each episode they kind of take two different people into, like, they make it look like a hostage situation, but they take two people into a room and give them a chance to sort of unload about why they're there and what's happened in their lives. Yeah, and I think it works really well. They're pretty good at walking that line between intense and caring.
Yeah, it doesn't just become like abusive to the point where it's hard to watch as a viewer.
No, yeah, they're not. But you can definitely see the years and years of army in them that has just trained them to be able to put people on blast straight away, and there's no coming back with them. I wouldn't like to argue with them ever.
Yep. Just a quick shout out to my Dreamsicle on Twitch, who just gave us a follow. So what you were saying about your experiences at Kapuka, it wasn't a COVID-safe environment?
No, people got really, like, you can get very sick. Like, yeah, not very. So I don't understand how they would have run it. I guess they've tested everybody and worked it out for them. But yeah, Kapuka was, yeah, obviously not the same thing, but you couldn't leave if you wanted to like that, which made it a bit more intense. But it was the same situation where people that were the ones that, I remember a guy that we drove in on the bus before they get you out and shave your head and stuff for me. And I remember him telling me, oh yeah, people just can't hack it and they can't hack it, this and that. And I'm sitting there freaking out. Like, what did I get myself into? And I reckon within a week, that guy, we went up on a high ropes course. He froze on the high ropes course and managed to get himself sent home within a couple of days. So I think people learn that the best thing they can do is just to be the grey man, they call it. So you don't want to be the person at the top. You don't want to be the person at the bottom. You just want to get on with it in the middle. So, yeah, it's interesting to watch.
Has there been a grey man on this series, do you think?
I think it would have been Kobe until he cheated. I think they're expecting him to get through the whole thing. I'd expect him to get through the whole thing. I mean, it's too hard for some people. Like Sam Burgess obviously is too big to hide. So, like, yeah, there's a couple of people floating around that are just going okay. But, yeah, Kobe for me.
And then sort of out of our friends, do you think there's anyone that would relish the opportunity or someone that would really, really struggle?
Oh, plenty of, like, most people would really struggle. I think that's the idea. I mean, I think SAS selection, they take like 100, say they take 100, 200 people in there to try and do it. And for Australia, I'm pretty sure you only get one chance. So they take 100, 200 people, and I think they're aiming to pick maybe two or four people. Like, it's super competitive, and the only way that you can ever go back without leaving, like if you leave, that's it, you never get another go. But I think you can get one medical chance to go back. So, I mean, most people I don't think could hack it, but that's what makes it interesting, because I think most people could make it through a few weeks. I mean, you've obviously got the Shawns and everyone that love that challenge, but it's not just the challenges, it's the relentlessness of day after day after day of it is the thing that they get you with. I think a lot of the time people think they're looking for physically strong people, but my experience of seeing people that are commando or whatever like that, they're generally people that are kind of unassuming. Like, it's not a big person, it's a mentally tough person, and that's not something you can see.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's the interesting part.
When the ads first started coming on, my mum was like, I never want to do anything like that. Like, she's like, I will just start crying.
Yeah, some people do.
It'd make for funny TV if they did it with just like regular Australians, I guess, as well. Like,
yeah, I guess the interesting part here is you can see, like, people know the background stories of some of the celebrities.
Yeah.
So you get a bit more insight. You don't have to have so much explained to you from the start.
Yeah, true. They can just dive sort of right into it.
And they've obviously tried to get a big cross section. They got Heath Shaw, they got an AFL player as well. Like, they've tried to obviously get, there's like a home and away actor. Like, they've tried to get a real cross section to tick everyone's boxes, I think.
And does it sort of culminate in someone like winning the series, or is it just like, hey, you all achieved and got to the end of the course?
This is my first. I think this is the second season they've done, but this is the first season I've watched. I'm assuming it's just a celebration of whoever makes it, but I'm not expecting. I think they started with 20 odd. I think it's 17, and I would be banking that. I reckon.
You just dropped out there. Do you want to just repeat that?
I reckon there might be 4 of them by the end of it. Like, I don't think they're going to have many left over out of the 17 they started with. Like, it's the idea is to get them to quit. But sometimes it's funny. Like, they quit and the guy running it gives them a big pat on the back and was like, "Yeah, you made the right decision. Like, you weren't going to be able to get through it." So, yeah, interesting show.
Do you think Burgess makes it to the end?
I think he will. Like, maybe he's got a pretty battered up shoulder and stuff like that. Unless, you never know, people take a fall and they do some stuff like where you can actually hurt yourself. So you never know with injuries and things. I think he's in the headspace that he could, but it's obviously going to be hard being that big. The first thing they did was gas them and make them suffer through gas going through their lungs and out their mouths and nose. Like, they're not messing about.
Jeez.